First off, how pleasing is it to be locked in for another 2 years?
Yeah, it's to sign on for another two seasons here. I'm pretty happy. Been loving it so far. The last couple of years have gone by so quickly, but yeah, loving the journey in the club in Geelong.
And good to be back in your home Guernsey there. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, so this is my local club at home, Kilmaine. So I obviously would have started playing with them from about 6 years old. So this is the last jersey I wore at Kilmaine, so I brought it over with me, and it's cool to get to put it back on today.
Just wearing that now sort of make you take your mind back to, I guess, how far you have come in the last 3 or 4 years?
Yeah, I guess it's nice to reflect on where you started and stuff like that, and like it keeps you in touch with home and things like that. So it's good that the clubs gives us the opportunity to wear our jerseys.
Is the lure of home playing when you're talking about new contracts and stuff like that, or is it always, no, I'm comfortable here and life with me here is whatever it is for X period of time?
Yeah, obviously family and friends and stuff like that are at home, so there will be a part of you that will miss that. But Geelong from the get-go has made Geelong home pretty quickly. People at the club, the players, just instantly become friends and family, so they've made that transition very, very straightforward.
Has your year exceeded expectations? You played all bar one game. You've actually matched your previous games tally from the first 2 years in the 18 games you played this year. Has it gone beyond what you thought you'd do this year?
Yeah, obviously delighted with my form this year, like in regards consistency of being in the team. Obviously pretty happy with having the backing of the coaches and stuff like that to go in and do a role. So yeah, just delighted how it's developed my career, and hopefully can keep pushing forward.
Can you talk to us a bit about your role tagging some of the game's best players and how that sort of comes about?
Yeah, obviously that's something that the coaches decided in that tagging role, obviously playing down back as well, so just being flexible to what the team needs on a certain day, and obviously gives the opportunity to learn off some of the best players in the game as well, which can be beneficial for my own personal development.
How much did you learn going back? I know it's round 8 or round 9, but Nick Dacos, I suppose, players probably the best in the game at the moment. What do you take away from a battle like that? Yeah,
obviously Nick is such a highly rated player, so it was a great opportunity to go out there and play on him and see how he goes about it. Obviously he's a very strong runner, and how he makes space for himself. Yeah, it was very interesting to see up close and personal.
Did you mention anything about being the Irish Nick Dacos apparently?
No, I did not. That was Zach that coined that nickname, but I think it got taken out of context. So that definitely wasn't spoken about.
Just rewinding a bit, do you remember when the Cats first did approach you to potentially come down here, and yeah, just walk us through your reaction and that sort of thing?
Obviously my first introduction to AFL as a sport goes back to 2019. I first done a combine in Ireland in December, and then the Cats got in contact in 2021 and kind of just kept contact from there. Was meant to come over for the 2022 season, which got delayed until the end of 2022, so I got over for the 23 season. So yeah, it goes back. It was quite a journey before getting here, but eventually got here, and delighted at how it's gone so far.
Connor, you got the Albury Tigers jumper on, bit of banter between you and Sean Manor with a couple of Ovens and Murray clubs.
Yeah, there was a little bit. Obviously, I like to think Albury's got the wood over Lavy for the last couple of years, but I think Lavy's going pretty well this year, so it's actually nice that we've got a little bit of banter, and there's some Albury boys that we can have a laugh about it with.
Similar question to Osh. Have you surprised yourself with how you come on this year and how consistent you've been in what's really only your second year of senior footy?
Yeah, I tried not too much to put expectation on myself at the start of this season. For me, it was just trying to develop as much as I could and learn from the experiences that I got both at AFL and VFL level last year. So for me, it was just more about how much I could improve on the things that I needed to work on. Obviously, it's nice, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to have played the amount of games I have this year. But yeah, for me, I'm still very young and still got a lot to learn, and I'm still making some mistakes and stuff like that I want to try and continue to work on. So for me, it's just about learning and developing every game.
Not the 10-year deal that Brian was after for you, but you must be pretty pleased to sign on for another couple, extend for a couple more years.
Yeah, I couldn't get Brian across the line as my manager, unfortunately, but obviously Max Sports has done an awesome job to keep me around. I'm very happy. Obviously we've got a lot of young guys sticking around, which we're super excited about. Yeah, to have Osh and the other boys, I feel very grateful to be in the position where we can all sort of share the field, hopefully together for a couple more years to come. So it's very exciting, and I think it'll be good for the club.
Can you put your finger on, like, your rise this year's been pretty steep? Is there something that you think has sort of clicked in your game this year?
Not really. I think more probably just even off the back of last year, the coaches and all the support staff around the club have really just invested their full confidence in me, and I feel like last year for me it was a lot about finding my feet and my routine and about what works for me as a footballer full time. Anyway, and I guess this year it was just putting it more into practice and obviously getting the opportunity to play senior footy I'm very grateful for. So just in that is still a lot of learning, and for that I think I've just been able to put a little bit of a routine in place that works for me, and I feel like I'm getting more comfortable as a professional footballer.
I just want one of your good mates, George Stevenson, from your draft. He obviously remains unsigned, but he's put together a good body of work and debuted this year. Do you feel he will get an extension? Do you know if there's any progress there?
No, I'm not sure how that's all going. I think he's obviously one of those blokes that just puts his head down and works as hard as he can. I think he had an amazing pre-season, and that probably reflected in his ability to get the opportunity to debut this year. So for me, I'll just try and support him as much as possible. I don't obviously know where that's going, but I know he's the type of bloke to just put his head down and keep working until that decision's made.
Being an Albury boy, is Geelong the perfect fit?
Yeah, it feels like it is. Ever since I moved down here, not much has really changed in how I go about life, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's a little bit bigger of a town, but in terms of how everyone is as people and the community and things like that, I think I'm very grateful that it's not a very hard transition to make.
I know it's a lot of footy still to be played and nothing's a guarantee, but especially for you, first final series potentially coming up, how do you let yourself dream a little bit about being on potentially the MCG in September? Yeah,
obviously we were very fortunate at the start of the year to play in some pretty exciting games, and for me that just gave me sort of a little bit of a teaser as to what a final series could be like. So for me especially, it's more about how I can best prepare myself in the next sort of 4 to 5 weeks to best sort of prepare myself for a potential finals. But I think it's just knuckling down over the next month to sort of nail the things that we can, so that hopefully we're set up to be in a final series. Obviously that's the main goal to get there, so it'll definitely be the next month that's the focus.
Same question, Osh. Do you allow your mind to wander?
No, Connor summed it up pretty well there. Obviously the next month is very important for us to put ourselves in the best position going into the final series, so we're just as a group collectively focusing on just fine-tuning things in our game and hopefully have ourselves in the best position going into September.
Can Jeremy Cameron kick 100 goals?
I'll try and say that I'll try and kick one before he kicks 100. So if I can contribute to that'd be nice. But he's obviously a great player, and we obviously put a high priority in getting him involved in the game because he's such a good player. But I don't know if that's on his mind, but it hasn't actually been spoken about that much within the club. So
how hard is it matching up on him at training at times? I imagine that's a pretty good learning experience.
Pre-season was a pretty big eye-opener. Like, it's a pretty humbling experience when you come in and you think you've had a pretty good off-season and worked pretty hard, and then you get to play on Jazz, and it certainly gives you some things that you still need to work on. So I think I'm very grateful that I get the opportunity to play on him, especially in pre-season and during the week. It gives me sort of an opportunity to fine-tune my craft, unlike some probably get the opportunity to do.
19 games without a goal, 36 games without a goal. Who's kicking it first?
We were joking about this on the weekend, actually. I think it's a race to 6 points first. Osh is tallying him up. He kicked one on the weekend, and I think Ryan got into him. Yeah. He can probably touch on it more, but yeah.
5-1, is it?
Yeah, it's, I've kicked 1 point, and I think I'm actually trying to get points before I get goals first, so I keep kicking them out on the full, so that would be a good start, I reckon.
Does the heart rate go up when you get that opportunity around 50?
Not too much. I've tried obviously to settle down and get a bit more composure around it. Shooting was never my strong point. Naturally, was defender at home and stuff like that. So just trying to work on that in my game and obviously add it to the locker and hopefully just get it out of the way soon.
Just one about your decision to come over here. Like, how difficult was that, considering you were so highly touted over there in Ireland? Making the decision to come over here and that leap of faith.
Yeah, it is a pretty big decision, and it's something I mulled over for quite a while. Obviously, AFL is such an amazing opportunity, but I grew up playing GA and developed such a close bond with that, playing with some of my best mates from when I was a child all the way up through. So it wasn't a decision I made lightly, but since coming over here, I haven't looked back. It's just been amazing, and obviously having Mark and now Killian, Zach, when I arrived, them Irish lads, they've all been through that same transition. So it's just good to have them to kind of lean on and get their opinions and experiences of it and how the journey was for them and things. But yeah, I've just loved it since I arrived.
What was the big thing that really won you over? Was it more so the, I guess, semi-professional versus professional gear, or what really won you over?
Yeah, well, I guess GA is actually it's completely an amateur sport, so it's not even semi-professional, even though the kind of lifestyle you live with it is pretty close to professional, between training and gym and stuff like that. So it sets you up pretty well physically to make the transition to AFL. But sorry, what was the original question?
What really won you over?
Yeah, I guess just the opportunity to come over and play professional sport, and it was, I guess, kind of the excitement of the unknown and like testing myself in a different environment, seeing what I could adapt to, like physically and obviously personally, like off the field as well. There's a lot of challenges with it. It just gives you that opportunity to grow as a person. But yeah, mainly just the opportunity to test myself in a new sport.
Do you think more Irish people will come over and make the same moves that you did?
I'm not sure. I can't speak for anyone else. Younger lads, they're obviously, everyone has their own personal circumstances. That's quite different. But yeah, it's an opportunity I'd definitely recommend lads to try if they were to get that chance. But yeah, I feel like it's probably AFL clubs will still look into Irish players because it has been reasonably successful. Looking at players that have come over in the past. So.